viewers, and welcome back. Today I want to take a look at cleaning a paint gun. So this gun actually has clear coat in it, so my apologies for not being able to see the color change, if you will, as we clean the gun. But it is what it is. I wasn't going to go trash a gun just so that we could clean it here, when you're going to see that about 4 dozen more times by the time this class is up. So anyway, let's make it happen. Okay, so first things first, you've disconnected the air hose, you're out of the paint booth, and all that other good stuff. You're going to fully depress the trigger, and that's going to let any product flow back into the cup. So at that point, you can simply remove the paint cup and you don't have product draining out of the gun. Okay, so we're going to just set the cup aside for later. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to remove the air horn, if you will. And I can see there's some cupola, looks like, up inside of this. So we're going to need to do a nice job cleaning that out. Once the air cap, that's actually what this is called. Once the air cap has been removed, the next step that you want to do is you want to take out the fluid tip. And the reason behind that is I don't want the fluid tip, you know, this beveled part here, grinding against here in the, you know, expensive fluid tip. What we're going to do at this point is I'm simply going to take my 19 mil wrench and lefty-loosey, and everything's taken apart, and now we can actually begin the cleaning process. You may elect to flow some solvent through this gun before you take it apart. It's really just personal preference. So like I said before, we're going to flow some solvent through the gun, and you can kind of see that draining out the bottom. I'll rinse the body of the gun as well. I'm going to take a cleaning brush that looks like that, and I'm going to kind of smear it around inside the gun a little bit. We'll flow backwards, all that other good stuff. And I'm going to take that brush again, kind of stir it around, you know, up through the top. So this cleans all the passages out in the gun, and then of course the brush always has crap in it, so all we're going to do at this point is we're just going to give it a little bit of a rinse. You should use like a maximum of 2 ounces of thinner to completely clean this gun. So hopefully you can see that the outside of it's nice and clean. Don't forget that. That's, I think, just as important as the inside, personally. This gun is actually clean at this point. We flushed it out good in the adapter. We flushed it out good up where the fluid tip screws onto it. So I think we're good on that. For now, we'll just set it aside. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the air cap. I'm going to turn it a little bit here as well. This is probably north, last I checked, about north of $800 for this particular WS series of gun. So they don't give them away. Anyway, our air cap is clean. We'll set it aside for now. We're just going to wipe this needle down good, and then it shouldn't have any contaminants on it. We'll set that aside. What we're going to do now is we're simply going to take this fluid tip, and I'm going to flush it just kind of like such, and I'm going to wipe it off. Do it from the back in case there's any crap stuck in the little tip. I'm probably going to run a brush through it just to kind of dislodge everything. Fill it up one last time, dump it out, fill it, dump it out, and wipe it off. I think that should do it. So again, we got clear in this gun, so it's a little bit hard to see. My apologies. But all of this up here in the front is nice and clean, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So we don't want to leave any contaminants in that. If there is something in there, just go ahead and flush that out one last time with a little solvent. All right, folks, our next step is going to be to assemble the spray gun. So some of them assemble a little bit differently. Some of them have more pieces, some of them have fewer pieces than the one I'm going to take apart. So let's make that happen. Okay, so step one is I have all my clean pieces here ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clean fluid tip, fluid nozzle, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, some have a insert up here in the front, so you want to be a little bit careful that you're putting everything back together right. So this gun is actually pretty easy. I'm going to take my 19 and just snug that down. Don't go like caveman on it. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our fluid tip and we're going to install it all the way like such, and we're going to grab our spring and this cap, and then we're simply going to thread it in a couple turns. We're going to fully depress the trigger, and then we're going to thread in the adjuster until it starts to bump the trigger forward. And what that's doing is it's setting my trigger for a full pull, which is really how I like to spray clear on things. I'm also, just because I did a specialty project, I'm going to back the fan out to where I usually run it, but that's neither here nor there. The next thing that we're going to do is we'll simply reinstall the air cap onto the spray gun, and then I set it to the horizontal direction, and then I believe we're finished. That is a complete spray gun. Well, there you got it, folks. That is my way of cleaning a spray gun. So some people like to take the spray gun apart all the way. Some people don't. This is a dedicated gun just for clear. Like I said earlier, on the wrap-up of it, the finish, I like to kind of rub the outside of it with a dry cloth, get some fingerprints, any spray residue off. So I like to keep the stuff looking brand new, even if I don't personally own it. That way, when I know I need a good gun, that it's going to function correctly the next time I need to use it. Because I do a lot of spraying on the weekend, and you ain't getting parts and you ain't getting service if you need it on the weekends. So anyway, there you go. That's a clean spray gun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.